Call is now being recorded.
All right. Sorry about that. Hold on 1 minute. All right. Yeah, so it was about, obviously self-esteem, but it was just more based off of how men, we've been conditioned, like, basically our whole lives to, kind of suppress certain things and really not, get things out and talk about things. It's kind of like what we do, but, whether you're depressed, whether you're, you got stuff going on, you're kind of told, or you've been kind of conditioned to just kind of say, hey, I've got it, I'll figure it out, like all these different little things that we talk about. And instead of not admitting, but just saying, listen, man, like, I'm fucking hurting, I'm not good, and, like, I need help, instead of, like, saying what truly is happening or what's truly on your mind, you kind of be the tough guy and you just say, yeah, I got this, I'll figure it out. And so, just like a lot of good nuggets about the 6 pillars of self-esteem, and I don't know, there's just a lot of good things. Like I took some notes down and just talk about, I really like this one, like breathing your unrealized dreams. Like for me, it was like my hockey dream or my pit crewing dream, or, these dreams that you have. And like Reece was talking about, he doesn't have a dream to be a professional basketball player anymore. He's like, man, in my 20s, he's like, I would watch college basketball and I would see all these guys on, playing. I was like, because he grew up in, North Philly. He's like, man, I used to fucking, work these guys. Like, and even guys that were in the pros, he named like a few guys. He's like, man, I used to work these guys and I couldn't watch it. I was like, it would bring me to like a dark place. And he's like, I took a moment of silence for my unrealized dreams, and I just, you kind of grieve them, and then you just let it go, like move on, and I thought that was pretty powerful for me, because it was like, yeah, I had a lot of, like, even in my mind, like, should I go back and play hockey? Should I go back and pit crew? It's like, no, like, let them go. You have a new thing to work on. Like, you have a new dream to work on. So, I really like that part. Just kind of looking through some of my notes. And like, and I know you're pretty good at this, but I don't have a good, like, letting people take my voice. Like, in certain situations, I might just become quiet or reserved instead of actually voicing my thoughts or my opinion, because I think that person may not like me or may not, approve of what I say or whatever. Like, don't lose your voice in a situation where you feel like, I can't say this because I'm going to hurt this person, or this person's not going to like me anymore, I'm not going to fit in. And we actually had some really, really good discussions about, and it brought me back to like the hockey days of certain things that I didn't agree with, but I would go along with them just because I wanted to be a part of the group, and like, I was like, man, that was a surefire sign of just me not having high self-esteem, like really just not having the balls to be like, yeah, that's good, but that's good for you, but that's not me. And he made it fucking seem so easy. Like, dude, I'm telling you, man, like, he's a good fucking speaker. Like, he's gonna be good, and just making it easy. Like, no, like, that's you, that's not me. And just standing your own personal ground, like, don't compromise. And there's another thing, like keep your commitments to your commitments. Like, if I'm saying, hey, I'm waking up at 5 a.m. and I just fall back to sleep until 7, 8, like, I'm not keeping my commitments to my commitments, and there'll be that inner struggle, like, hey, you said you were going to do this and you're not doing it. Like trying to be congruent with your thoughts and your actions and your sayings. And
I saw you hooked up with a shirt, huh?
what's that?
I saw you.
Yeah.
You up with a little shirt.
And be the leader that is worth following. He's like, are you even worth following? Like, take a look at yourself. Are you even worth following? And so, like, you're working on yourself so much that you get to a point where you are worth following, and you're in the trenches. You're not just kind of following, or you're not just leading. And he made the example of, like, when he was in the military, like, his leaders got in the mud, they did everything, so you were a lot more willing to, lead or follow that person because they were willing to get in the mud and get in the trenches and be right next to you and lead from the front. And let's see. Oh, another thing too, like, and I struggle with this, like self-acceptance, like, be on your own side. Like, don't fucking keep everybody else. A lot of people in the world are against you, right? Like, a lot of people don't agree with you. A lot of people maybe don't like what you're doing or agree with what you're doing, but be on your own side. Like, be your own fan. Like, even I think a lot of times in I'm always like, yeah, maybe they're right. Maybe I should just do this. Maybe I shouldn't do it. It's like, be on your own side. Like, be your number one fan. And I know it's kind of cheesy and corny, but sometimes I need to be reminded of that.
I like that one.
Or, like, going back to the previous point about, like, not making us think about, a lot of it was, hey, honey, where do you want to go to eat? Well, I want to go eat at Outback, but you don't want to make a fuss about it. You don't want to and it goes back to, you don't want to express your opinion because you think, like, even for you and I, like, I was thinking a lot of times, like, he was making the example of, you need to be on that level, and we actually did talk about this. We need to be on that level that if you bring something up, I am not taking it personally, because I'm emotionally mature enough to be like, Eric isn't doing it because he hates me or he fucking doesn't like me. He's doing it because he has an opinion, he's got an idea, and that's what he thinks. And same thing for me. If I bring something up and I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't agree with that. Like, we need to do it this way, that way, this way. You or the other person has to be like, yeah, it's not because he doesn't like me. It's because, like, don't attach somebody's opinion or, it's easy to say, hard for me to do, but, like, don't attach somebody's opinion or thought, or if they bring something up that's a little bit controversial, like, just be like, oh, fuck, like, that could help me, or that, like, we're quick to, like, when my mom is like, yeah, you really need to get something basic to get your bills paid, blah, blah, blah. I may get defensive and like, Mom, like, why don't you just get my point of view? Like, why can't you just believe in me? And he goes, that's actually a blessing for somebody to bring up other points of view and be like, have you thought about it this way? And he's like, he made the example of his wife, like, he gives it, or not his wife, but his girlfriend, he's so happy about all the stuff that he's telling her, and, I can't wait to do this and build this thing up. And she's like, well, or he was talking about, like, the event, and he was telling her about what was happening. He's like, yeah, and then she goes, well, did you think about water? Did you think about maybe bringing some food for people? Did you think about chairs? Did you think about, and he just, like, made, like, a joke. He's like, man, like, God damn, why can't she just go along with what I'm talking about? She's got to bring up all these other things, and, like, you get defensive, like, if somebody brings up a different point of view or a different idea, sometimes you're not okay with being, those things being brought up. Let's see here. There's another one. Oh, this one I love. Talking we, not me. Like, when we're talking, it's always, like, me, or it's always we. Like, what are we going to do? What are we going to accomplish? It's never about, like, what's me. Not what's in it for me, but just talking in I's and me's. It should always be like, what are we building? What are we working on? What do we got going on? Like, it's always that kind of inclusive, making people feel like we're in this thing together, and it's not just about one person.
Wow. Yeah. Seems like you got a lot of stuff out of it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. I just love the fact that, like, I just felt like, and I hate to say it, man, but I felt like I finally was around human beings that I can just fucking open up to and just be myself, be authentic, and be like, fuck, like, yeah, I hated that situation. Like, I told the story of when I quit my job, because he asked the question, he's like, hey, man, has anybody ever had a situation where your ego has either helped you or hurt you? And, you know, talk about it. So I, like, talked about the time when I felt like my boss fucking absolutely destroyed the trust between him and I, and, you know, how that whole thing just totally fucked up the boss-employee relationship. And because he told me that we could have, if I ever had a problem, I can go talk to him about it. I can, and it'd be just a sit down man to man, and we'd work it out. And I took him up on that, and then he went and told somebody else that him and I had that conversation and whatever it was about it. And I told Reece, I was like, man, that was just like, it fucked me up, because to me, I got to have that trust of, you know, and even like between you and I, like, I was going to call you out on this, is like, as small as it is a situation, like even for you to tell your brother, like, hey, like Tom went and hired and gave money to blah, 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 like, I was like thinking to myself, damn, like, I didn't like Eric. I didn't like that he did that, because I didn't fucking do that, you know? So I want to be 100% authentic, even though I know it was like a motivation thing for your brother. I was like, man, I didn't agree with that, but I didn't really say, Eric, I didn't agree with that. I just kind of was like, yeah, whatever. But as I was thinking about it, we were talking about it yesterday, I was like, that's one thing that I was like, even though it's just a stupid white lie, I don't know, I didn't like it. So it was like, it's funny. I kept thinking of all these little things that I maybe bit my lip on, where I was like, like, I fucking should have just, it's not that big of a deal. I should have just told Eric, like, hey man, like, don't fucking lie to your brother. Like, I don't, especially me, like, don't bring me into it and make me sound like a liar. So I just thought that was something that, there was a lot of things in my life that have happened like that, where I bit my tongue, I haven't said it, and then later I'm like, why the fuck didn't I just say something? And so I'm going to really try to keep getting better at that, because I think it just brings you, and there's another thing, like, be completely authentic with your dealings with other people. Like, 100% authenticity with the people that you deal with. Like, don't try, like, if somebody comes in and you got to try to be somebody when that person comes in, but then, you know, somebody else comes in and you're trying to be somebody else, and he's like, man, that's fucking exhausting. Like, be authentic who you are with every single person that you deal with. So I like that. He actually talked about the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 thing.
Oh, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I actually did that this morning. I went back in my bed after, but when my alarm went off, I was like, I actually tried it this morning. I was like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, got up, and I laid back down for like less than 5 minutes, but then I got back up. And so that was something that he's like, man, I don't know what it is, counting backwards. You know, it definitely helps.
Where did he find it?
He didn't give credit to Mel Robbins, but that's her thing, isn't it?
Did you say he didn't credit Mel Robbins?
No, I'm pretty sure that's her thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't think like she came up with hers. I mean,
Yeah,
I
she
don't
just
know.
kind of like
Well,
made it.
I don't know if she made it big or what. I don't know what the deal is, but I heard it I heard it from her, and she wrote a book on it. So
Yeah.
I don't know who made it big. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So, wow. Well, it looks like. How long was it?
I got there at 11, and it went until 3, so 12, 1, 2, 3, like 4 hours.
So did he speak the whole time?
Yeah, he spoke the whole time, and I was pretty engaged the whole. I mean, I wasn't really. That's what I say. Like he was pretty good at commanding attention and not feeling like it was, boring or like it was pretty. He had definitely a unique energy. I definitely believe he has the talent to do it.
Well, that's
And I didn't picture him the way that he looked like he's 40 something, but he's like, dude, he's lean. He's like, and shit, he's kind of like, he's got the look too. Like he was even saying that on our podcast. He's like suited and booted. Like I got the look. And it's true. Like you almost have to have that kind of swag about you, and you could tell he definitely had that, where he could just kind of go in and just be like, yep. And one more thing is like he kept saying it's like, watch my moves, like don't watch. And it's kind of what Gary Vee talks about, like don't watch what I say, watch what I do, like watch my moves, what am I doing, and let that be your mantra. Like make moves, just let your actions talk. Like don't talk a big game. Like for us too, like if we talk about something, I love how we hold ourselves accountable. Like let's fucking do it. And I'm trying to keep myself accountable, so that way I don't let my big mouth keep running and I don't actually do what I say I'm going to do.
Well, that's good that you enjoyed it, liked it, you got a lot out of it. Does he do them? Like how many times a year does he do them?
What was that?
How many times a year does he do the boot camp?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how many times he did it. I really don't. I think it might have been a one-day thing.
Did you talk to anybody, interact with other people?
A little bit, yeah. We talked a little bit after, but there was 6 people total. One guy has left. So there's a few people in there. A couple guys that were younger, a couple kids that were younger, like 17 and 19. So the one guy, TJ, he was really cool. He was a former Marine, but man, he got in and it was fun because you could actually feel like you could just talk. You didn't have to like think, this guy's gonna fucking judge me, whatever. Like you just had something was on your mind, you just fucking said it, and everyone was like supportive and fucking. It was like a kind of almost like a, almost like an Alcoholics Anonymous where you could just talk whatever, and nobody's there to fucking, bust your chops, give you a hard time. Like a support group, basically. If I can imagine, I've never been to a support group, but that's what, that's basically what I felt like it was. It was just where you can go, you can let out the dirty laundry and just be like, man, that felt good.
That's good, man. I wish I could have went.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely something that I think he knows what he's about, and I think it aligns perfectly with what he's about. I mean, it really, I'm excited to keep in touch with the guy and, just kind of keep at it. And have him be a part of, I don't want it to be, go to this boot camp or whatever. Like I've told myself, all right, once a week, either get up with Reece or talk to him or whatever. Like that's a good relationship to have in Charlotte. And I've been wanting a friendship local, like and Wes or some of these people that I thought, hey man, like maybe that guy would be a cool guy to be friends with or whatever. But like same with Reece, like I think he's a guy that I'd love to be connected with in Charlotte. So that's on me. And that was only for him. He's like, do you ever have that thing where you're always like, fuck, like, why isn't that guy calling me? Why isn't she calling me? Like, pick up the fucking phone. Like, it's on, everything's on you. Like, don't keep sitting there being like, why isn't Jimmy calling me? Why isn't, and I related to that because I've done that where I'm like, why isn't my buddy calling me? Why isn't Scotty Freeman calling me? Why isn't these people calling? Like, pick up the fucking phone and call. You know, so I told myself, listen, man, if it's once a week, call Reece, talk to him, keep that friendship, keep that business relationship going. You don't know where it's going to lead, but just keep it, keep it alive, basically.
Yeah, we kind of talked about it. I mean, basically calling people, talking to people, keeping people in touch with that you believe in, that you feel close to, that you feel are friends, family, whatnot, that bring value and stuff. So, because I mean, I don't know, like if you went to the talk and you didn't like it, then it sucked. Maybe still, it doesn't mean that you still wouldn't, talk to them.
Yeah.
Or whatnot. So, yeah. Actually, well, that's good you liked it. That's good you got a lot out of it, too. It's awesome.
Yeah. No, it was like, it's what I needed, man. It really was. Like, I just, he brought up a couple things, too, like about these IT certifications that you can do and blah, blah, blah. And I started doing a lot of research on those last night about, hey, I can go get a certification and, have that on my resume, and then you can go apply for these little jobs that might be perfect for interim jobs where you just get paid decent money, good money, and, you're doing things and your IT help or your, like perfect example, dude, like a company has a lot of people, and I'm not saying this to you to bash you, but like you have a problem with an IT thing or social media, like, and I have a little bit more knowledge than you. I would be the IT help technician, and you would call a number and be like, hey, Tom, like, I don't fucking know what I'm doing here. What am I going to do? And then I'm like, oh, yeah, just pop, 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 and then you're good. And you're like, oh, fuck, all right. Yeah, that was easy. And like, so jobs like that where you can go in, be a technician, a help desk guy, where a company member would call in and be like, Tom, my printer's not working. All right, well, fuck. Did you check the connection, restart your computer? Like, basically some of the shit that we did with the microphone, like, some of that stuff is, like, stuff that I just take for granted, but he brought it up, and I was like, oh, man, maybe I should look into these. So I did, like, 4 hours of research yesterday looking at all these different certifications, and then I actually started one of them. It was, like, fundamentals one, and, I mean, they cost a little bit of money, but I was like, I looked at some of the jobs that were in Charlotte, and some of them were like, yeah, this A+ certification, like, you have that, please apply, like, so, I don't know, man, I think I'm going to try to uncover that a little bit more.
So, well, and that's, I always think that you don't have to, like, for right now, man, we're just looking for money, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
to like, survive, besides, I mean, we talked about it the other night, right? We're just looking, like, how sweet would it be just to make the bare minimum to get by, and then, like, all the other hours we have in our day, fucking crush it with our,
Correct.
So, but you look at it and you say, okay, so a perfect example would be, like, I'm trying to work on, and man, it's crazy. I'm not a mean person, I'm not a mad person, but it's crazy how, if you just think about it, like, you don't always smile. So, for example, at work, yes, I'm not working on public speaking. Yes, I'm not, I'm not surfing the internet, and, posting videos, writing stuff. But I'm working on little things for when I public speak and when I walk up the stage, like my smile. I'm always smiling to people. I'm always talking to people. whenever I'm talking to people, I'm using my hands like I'm public speaking. I'm keeping them above my hips, below my shoulders. I'm working on, when I yell across the room, my high-pitched voice. When I'm talking to somebody, my low-pitched voice and being animated.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all my work. And I'm getting paid for it. And it's going to, in the long run, help me when I public speak. Now, if you maybe get these certifications and you do an eye-tech thing, then maybe you learn some shit. And, you can, and maybe you get better at.
Yeah, and then you don't know what
Exactly.
those skills are using. Like even I'm sitting here, I'm going to start my first, Adobe Photoshop, which is just a program for like making photo things and whatever. And, so I'm sitting here and I got a book from the library. It's basically called Classroom in a Book. And you just go through and do different exercises and whatever and learn it. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to self-teach myself this for half hour a day. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to use it for, but there's something in my brain that like nudged me to get this book, nudged me to get the program. Like, I don't know what the fuck, I don't know what it is. I'm not saying I'm a creative designer by any means, but just to have the working knowledge of a program that you may use. Like, it was a perfect example. I saw this kid on Instagram I follow. He's a really cool guy, and he, I don't fucking know him, actually, I shouldn't say that, but he seems like a really cool guy through social media. But he makes T-shirts, like he's got Amazon merch, which is, how I was buying and selling books, and you can do it through Amazon, and Amazon would actually ship them and all that stuff. I don't know if I ever told you about that. But you can do the same thing with T-shirts. Basically, you can create your own designs, and then Amazon will fulfill those designs on a T-shirt if somebody buys them and then ships them to them. So, like, you don't know that's happening, but on the back end, Jimmy has created 300 T-shirt designs, and Amazon has all those files, and then when somebody orders that design on Amazon.com, like, they have it printed, sent to the person, and so it's a business. And he's like, he made a comment on one of his posts, like, I had no idea that me knowing Photoshop and all this stuff would, like, 5 years later, I'd be creating T-shirts in Photoshop, and using those skills that I have today. So I was like, man, that's pretty cool. So I figured, even if maybe I'm 40 and I had like 5 years of using Photoshop, and then all of a sudden I'm 40 and we're creating T-shirts, we're doing this, and maybe I'm the one doing it, maybe not, but just to have the knowledge of it, even if Jimmy, the graphic designer, was doing it and he was talking about Photoshop, and because I had that fundamental knowledge of it, I'm like, oh yeah, did you try doing that, or did you try doing this? It's just, I don't know, for some reason in my brain, I'm like, man, I should just fucking learn this and go through it.
Yeah, as I said, I think you'll learn a lot of things. You'll be able to practice some things that will help you in the long run. So I think that definitely. And I think just talking to people, man, like, you can even practice your talking too. As you talk, as you say, when you get on the phone with someone, try not to say, maybe so, all that stuff. So just the little areas you can work on things that can help.
I like that.
So, yeah, I mean, I always look at, okay, like, I have to work. I'm not working for TJFG right now. I understand that. I'm working for my employer. Yeah, he's paying me, but how can I, when working effectively, how can I do some stuff that's going to help me in my speaking, in my, in the other career that I eventually want to do full time? What can I do? How can I do it? Work on it to actually, become better at some of that stuff.
Yeah, that's great.
And I mean, it's almost like, I think E.T. said this, but like, we always want to, hold on. Listen, like, you know, we want these big jobs and we want to do these big things, but yet, and I get it's not what you want to be, but you're a waiter and you can't even write down someone's fucking meal correctly without messing it up. How the hell do you expect to be able to fucking run a humongous business? You know? No, seriously, it's like, you know, he's like, you know, he's like, but then, I get this guy when I go to Cheesecake Factory, I remember saying one time, and the guy don't even use a fucking pen and paper. I sit down and he remembers every single person's name in my family, and I know he asks us what we want, but I know he already knows what we want. And that right there is just like mastering, like, you know, you're mastering your craft. So, yeah.
And to me, man, how funny is that? You think about that kid, right? Maybe it's not natural for him to remember that stuff, but what if, like, that person, he goes to the table and goes, listen, guys, hey, I want you guys to bear with me. I'm learning a system on how to remember people's orders and not write them down or whatever. And because, like, think about the fear in the beginning. Like, for me, I'd be like, oh, fuck, I'm going to forget something. I can't do that. I got to write it down. And I may fear that forgetting something because I've forgot something in the past to not let me try to continue to build that muscle. And because I think memory is a muscle like that. And maybe you start with a two-top. You know, you start with two people and you try to remember. And then I want to get a hamburger, no lettuce, onion, add bacon, you know, leave the bun. You know, you get this fucking crazy order. Take the fries out, put the broccoli on, steam the broccoli. I don't fucking know, but you're like, oh, now I'm going to forget that. So I think you have that fear in your mind, and then three people give you that type of order where you have all these different additions and subtractions, and you're like, what did Jimmy want? Fuck, he wanted a, and then you end up having to go back to him, and so you run through this in your brain, and like, no, I gotta just write it down.
Yeah.
So I thought that's the way I was thinking about it. I wouldn't have any confidence to be like, no, I got this. I'll just start with two people. I can remember two people's orders. Yeah. Or hey, I'm gonna remember I'm not gonna write their drinks down. I mean, I think I can handle the drink. I'll remember that. And then I don't know.
Or maybe you just start slowly with just two drinks. Somebody else does the food or something, you know. And then you slowly, and everyone has their little methods. Like, I know when people tell me something, it's like I repeat it, 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 and eventually it sticks in my head.
Yeah.
It's different. So, what else did you do yesterday besides go to that? Any coffee?
No, I mean, I got No. I mean, I got up there, you know, pretty early, obviously, and then I worked on some things up until about like 7:45, 8, and then I showered. I went to the Firefighter. I don't know if I told you I went to the Firefighter open house thing. I think I told you that, but I did that from like 9 to.
You want to be a firefighter?
Well, my dad ran into this guy, and they kept in touch and this and that, and he was asking about me, what are you doing, this and that, and the guy just kind of out of the blue was like, hey, if your son has any even thought of being a firefighter, there's an open house Saturday, like you should just let him know about it. So my dad told me about it, and I was like, yeah, I mean, it's worth checking out. I mean, they talk about flexibility, dude. They work 8 24-hour shifts in a month. you have 22 days or 23 days, whatever, however many days off. But you go in and you work 8 24-hour shifts straight. So that's just the way their scheduling is.
You mean 2 24-hour shifts, correct?
No, 8 full 24-hour shifts. So you just work them and then you're done, and that's all the days that you work in that month.
How many days a week?
No, I think it depends on the schedule and the rotation, but cumulative, you work 8 to 20. So it might be, I don't know, it might be 3 days a week. It might be, you might work 2 days. Well, to me, that's 2 days a week.
I think it's just 2 24-hour shifts. And Tom, let me tell you something too. You get good benefits. You get paid good money to do it too. You get paid I think 40, 45 grand, almost $1,000 a week.
He told me it's about 40 grand if you have a bachelor's and this and that. And I was like, all right, like that to me, like as I'm looking for a job, like that to me, if I write down what I value in a job right now, it's because I want flexibility. I want to be able to make 40 grand a year is exactly the money I need. Because 40 grand a year, but then the flexibility of having 5 days off, I don't care if one of those days I'm kind of recouping because my schedule's kind of messed up working. I might be up at night because I have to go to a fire or whatever. Yeah, those 2 days a week might be fucked up. But even if you have 4 days, so you give 1 day to get recouped back, you should go to bed early, blah, blah, blah. And you're thinking to yourself, damn, I got 4 days to hustle on this. And I was really interested in it. Plus you're keeping active. You're probably having to work, not having to, you want to be able to work out, keep in shape. So I don't know, man. That definitely is. It's appealing to me.
Man, I would say fucking hell yeah, dude.
What's that?
I would say hell to the fucking yeah, man.
Yeah. So the exam is on December 3rd. So I got to go in there and apply. And I went through I felt pretty good. I did it's called CPAT. It's like their physical agility test. And basically, there's 8 stations. The first one is a 3-minute stair climb with 75 pounds on your back. So I did that it got a little bit hard from minute 2 to 3, but it was pretty manageable. And then the next one is like a hose pull. So you basically grab the hose, you run it down a little ways, and then you run it another direction, and then you have to get on your knees, and you have to kind of just hand over hand, just pull the hose 50 feet. So that went pretty easy. And then the next one was basically like a farmer's carry, but you're just carrying 2 saws, 2 big saws that are probably 25 pounds each. They weren't that heavy at all. So you walk down 35 feet, and then you walk back 35 feet. So that was pretty easy. And then the fourth one is a ladder. You basically walk a ladder up to a wall, and then you have to you know how ladders have those strings on them? You have to hand over hand raise the ladder up, and then once it gets fully up, you have to hand over hand bring it down. And I think the fifth one was crawling through confined space. So I have this little obstacle set up where you have to crawl through, and there's little things inside this box where you have to crawl over them, crawl under them. And then the next one was this is the only one that I hated, was the dummy carry. So it was 165 or 70 pound dummy, and you had to drag it around this garbage can, which was 35 feet. So that thing was, and then by that time your legs are burning. And so that hurt me pretty good. And then there was the last one, which is basically they have this tool where you can punch out a ceiling, And so they had this thing on, it was a big, I don't know, almost like a squat rack, but then above it, there's a thing where you use this tool and you got to like push up, and it's got like 30 or 40 pounds on it. And so you push up and it's giving you resistance. You have to do that like 5 times. And then there's another one where you there's a hook on the end of it, and you put the hook on it, and then you pull down on it, and that's like 40 pounds. So you're pushing 5, and then you're pulling 3. So you have to do that 4 rounds. So really the whole thing wasn't that bad, but just the dummy pull was the fucking worst. The old dummy pull.
Hey, that's brutal. I don't want to do that, man.
So it's definitely, I'm going to do it, go through the process.
I think it'd be great. That'd be awesome, man. Dude, that's
Yeah.
like, I mean, well, from what I hear and from what you're telling me, it's pretty cheap in Charlotte.
What was that?
I said, from what I hear and what you told me, pretty cheap in Charlotte. So
I still didn't hear that part.
I said, I think from what you told me and what I've heard, that you making that kind of money would be, you'd be really good because it's pretty cheap in Charlotte.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, 40,000. I mean, if you're making 40,000.
That's over that's over 825 a fucking week, man.
That basically is what probably 25 to 20. Well, no, that's actually probably about what I need to live, to be able to get groceries and, all that stuff. It's about 33. It comes up to be 33 a month. So with tax and all that taken out, it's probably about $3,000 a month.
No, it's more than that. It's gotta be.
No, I have a calculator right here.
So then that would be $750 a week.
Yeah. Which, like I said, though, I mean, I'm looking for what's going to satisfy my bills, but then allow me to do all the other stuff. So that alone would satisfy all my bills. I live really fucking simple right now. I just need that paycheck to satisfy my bills.
And then you could, you could figure out. So, for example, like when you're in the fire department, the only time you're really working is when you get called in. Besides that, you're just laying around the fucking firehouse doing whatever. So I'm sure they probably have a place to work out. I'm sure that you could figure out something that you could work on for the company while you're there for maybe a few hours. And, I mean, it's just so man, that's such a great idea. Like, I'm wondering if I should just look into becoming a firefighter too. No, seriously, it's a great idea.
Yeah, I really, yeah.
And then you got, what do you call it? Yeah, and then you work, I'm pretty sure it's 220, again, I'm not positive, but I think it's only 2 24-hour shifts. And then you fucking don't work 5 days.
Yeah.
And which I wouldn't mind, which I actually like, but I think when you start off and you're like kind of a rookie, I think you work the weekends, like Saturday, Sundays.
Oh, you don't really have like the best, you don't have like the choice, you mean?
Exactly. So probably I don't know, probably a veteran who's been there for a while would probably work maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, or Wednesday. Yeah, probably Tuesday, Wednesday, and then help off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. And because you're a rookie, you're new, but you'd be working the weekends because most people probably don't want to work on the weekends.
No. Yeah, so you would probably work Saturday, Sunday, definitely. I agree with that.
Now, see, I don't know how it works in Charlotte, but I know here you have to take an actual written test.
Yeah, yep.
then it can take a little bit to actually, there's a list of people that you got to kind of get on that list.
Yeah, so you have to take the written exam's December 3rd. You have to take that, and then you have to take the physical exam. And my dad, so the guy that my dad knew, he's like, dude, I can't even help you if you don't get past the written exam and the physical exam. I can't put any word in for you or anything. But once you get through that, I can go and then say, hey, yeah, this kid's a good kid. I can put a word in. And the guy's been doing it for like 20 years, so, you know, I mean, it doesn't say you're going to get hired, but it just means you at least have one voice in there saying, hey, yeah, good kid, whatever. So.
Well, that's good. That's, fuck, man. That's, I can't think about that.
Yeah. Yep.
It's funny, like, if you really thought about it, I could, my God. Now let's say that I just wanted to crush it and make like a decent amount of money, right? I could be making like 75 G's by becoming a firefighter because I don't work for, I can choose not to work Saturday, Sunday. So let's say that I work Monday to Friday at boilers and Saturday, Sunday as a fireman. You know? I think that's what's so appealing to be a fireman because I'm pretty sure basically every fireman has another job that they work.
Correct. Yeah, that's definitely what I've noticed too, yeah. Because I haven't time to do it.
The amount of them are seriously maybe like lawyers too.
Yeah.
And some of them own their own companies, which is good, obviously, because then they make their own hours.
Yep. Which is exactly what, you know, I would be doing. I mean, it would just be with this. And I wouldn't even work another job. I would just, this is our other job. Because that's plenty of money to let me do my thing. Like that's the blueprint. That's exactly.
Unreal idea. I like that.
So we'll see, man.
The firefighter. Tommy Firefighter.
Yeah.
That's what Scott does, pretty sure.
Yeah, no, he does.
Does he still do it?
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder if he's got another job, too. You know, maybe helping his dad or something.
I don't know. I haven't. Actually, finally, I not talked to him, but messaged him. That he, it was actually about the firefighter thing. He responded back finally. He's like, I'm sorry, I'm not a good long distance guy. Sorry about that. Like, blah, blah, blah. So it was good to hear back from him finally, and he wasn't dead. The same thing, man. I you know, that quote card of auditing your relationships and this and that, like, that's fine. You know, if Scotty doesn't really have an interest in keeping in touch long distance, and at least now I know, like, just be like, yep. I'm not going to put any effort into reaching out to him when we get together. It is what it is. But I'm not going to reach out because if that's the attitude he has, then it's not really, for me, I want people that want to be involved in my life, and I want to, and it's no hard feelings. It's just like, that's just the way that it is. You know, I gotta understand that. Some people don't want to fucking talk long distance as friends.
You're correct, man.
And that goes back to the self-esteem thing. Like, I think previously I would be like, oh, well, fuck, Scotty doesn't like me as a buddy or whatever. But now I'm like, no, like, I'm sure Scott likes me just as much as he did before. He just doesn't really communicate well long distance. And I get that. Like, I do. I understand it. It's like a long distance girlfriend. Like, it's fucking not easy. It's not easy keeping in touch with your buddy that's, you know, hundreds of miles away. It's okay once in a while, but all right, just let it be. Like, if him and I get together in the future, just treat it like a normal interaction. You know, you don't have to fucking. I'm not gonna rag on the guy. I'm not gonna think, why does Scott not want to be my friend or this or that. Like, I'm just gonna let it be. And that's a crazy different mindset that I had, like, even, you know, just a few weeks ago. Because I was thinking, man, like, Scott's not a good friend. Scott's not calling me, this, that. I'm like, no. Like, yesterday fucking changed my perspective, man. That was great.
I feel like, I don't know, maybe you made a pretty big leap yesterday when you went to the States. He was like, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I feel that way. I want to keep it going, but yeah, man, I really felt like I had a break, like a solid breakthrough. You know, like it's a little bit. You make a big breakthrough. I'm not going to say I'm going to just go back. It's like he made the example of, yeah, everybody wants to get in shape, and you're good for 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden you don't do anything for 3 months. He's like, this stuff has to be continually worked on. And definitely agree with that.
Yeah, man, just like anything, I'm like, oh, fuck, I wish I could have went. Seems like it was a good little boot camp. Fuck.
Dude, he's underrated, man. I'm telling you, he's going to be good. He is good. You know?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how he grows and develops.
How old is he? Is he in his
He's
30s?
like, no, he's 40. He's 41 or 42.
See, there they go. Guy's fucking 41, 42. That's what he does for a full-time job. And he's just like, guess you can only
No, he doesn't do that full time, man.
Oh, he doesn't?
No, he has a full-time HR job. So he's not even there yet. And I'm pretty sure he's, you know, he's definitely done a lot of work. So that just gives you perspective of, all right, somebody's 40. I'm not saying that we're not going to quote unquote make it before that, but I mean, the guy's a hot.
We're not
like
even
it,
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, I see it as it's going to be way after we're 40. Like 40, maybe mid-40s, late. Like, this is going to be a long process.
It might be 10 years before we see $1 from this thing.
I know. That's why I think we need to definitely strap in. And I'm not going to fight the paycheck thing. I'm going to acknowledge it. I'm going to say, yes, that is the right thing to do. I need to do that. But strategically, I need to do that. Not just any job, but I need to strategically have the job be conducive. I don't want to say easy, because that's what, you know, Gary Vee, like, get the easiest possible job you can, so that way you can satisfy your bills and then do what you really want to do with all of your energy. But that's kind of what I'm saying. And I actually think the firefighting thing, something along those lines makes sense. Where you're not really, you're busy, you're cleaning the firehouse, yeah, whatever, but probably like 90% of the time you can be on your phone.
Yeah,
you know, once you get your chores done and once you get everything done, you work out. I mean, I can't imagine there's going to be that much to do. So,
No, and I can't imagine there's a ton of fires.
no, I don't think so.
So, well, that's a great idea. I might have to look into it too, man.
Yeah, so I got some good nuggets, man. That's for fucking sure.
That's awesome. Well, that's
Yep.
I'm happy you got a lot out of it. So
Yeah.
it seems like you're definitely well on your way to becoming Tommy P. You know,
Yep.
someone that I think you're finding yourself. You're close. You're close. And I can hear like when you're talking, you're excited and you're empathetic. So it's kind of you're getting there.
Mhm.
That's exciting. And I know how throughout this whole thing, the past 6-7 months, it's kind of been like, fuck, man, like, what am I gonna do? Like, what am I passionate about? Blah blah blah. But it seems like you're finding it. It's fucking awesome.
Well, and what I realize is I'm passionate about what we're doing. So therefore, yeah, I need to get a job, but that's why I say strategically, like if I can figure out a way, like the bartending and the juice bar, like that wasn't very strategic because if you think about it, how much time did I actually have to, work on this? I don't like eight, not even 8. Like if you actually thought about it, because I'm waking up at 5 now, and we go to bed at 9. I had 2 hours to eat, to fucking get ready to go to bed, blah, blah, blah. So that didn't really make a lot of sense. That wasn't very strategic. Because I woke up at 5, went in the juice bar from 5:30 to 10:30, then went to the bar. It's like, all right, well, when do you plan on doing this stuff?
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Definitely.
So,
But hey, I don't know what's going on, by the way, too. Like yesterday, we had 45 people follow us.
yeah, I'm starting to use that allhashtag.com that Lewis Howes was talking about.
Yeah.
And kind of like just putting the word in and then taking whatever it is, because a lot of it's really fucking hilarious, like funny hashtags. And I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just going to laugh about it. So I take the hashtags and put them in our first comment. So I don't know if that's, I was just looking at we've had, in the last 7 days, we've had 4,137 impressions. We've had
What does that mean?
30 impressions. Just mean like people look at an impression is just it's like if you see a Super Bowl commercial and you watch it, that's an impression. So if somebody comes to our page, that's an impression. Like and just sees our stuff. So
I'm gonna send you today. Later today, I'm gonna send you a video that you can mash up with words. And I think that'll basically be everything that we need for the week that you've gotten done.
yeah, I gotta definitely. And I haven't done the blog post, which I need to do that.
The blog?
Yeah, blog.
Well, where are you gonna put that?
Medium.
Oh. Hey, I was thinking maybe we should. I know you sent me a few words when I asked about it, but I'm writing like a pretty in-depth paragraph about the About Me page. So I don't know if you want to maybe kind of sit down and write a pretty just in-depth, kind of, I guess you'd say, highlight points of your life. Because, like, when people get to know you, it's kind of like, I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, okay, like, you, like, just saying a few words is like saying a few words. You want people to actually, like, get to know you, and, so maybe highlighting some big points in your life. I mean, like, in my paragraph, I talk about how when I was growing up, and this is not a joke, this isn't a lie, I was in special ed classes, and I always struggled, and I get made fun of in school, and that definitely helped me to kind of realize, okay, like, I need to work a little harder than most people to actually get to where I am. And then I talk about losing my eye, and then I talk about losing my brother, and then I kind of wrap it up and sum it up with, like, me and Tom created this page because we want to connect with people who are regular Joe Schmoes like us right now that are going through the everyday struggle and feel like they have nowhere to turn, nowhere to look, kind of nowhere to, basically no help. And, that's what we want to kind of do, is help people that are just struggling every day. So I think maybe that would be good to kind of write something down like that.
Yeah, no, I like that. The other thing I can, like, if you look at any one of, and this isn't where I'm getting it from, but I want to continue to build out. So I signed up for this thing called, it's called Tube Buddy. So TUBE Buddy. Basically what it does is it helps us to optimize our YouTube page. So when I go in there and I post a video, right, and I post our podcast, or if we end up doing a vlog or whatever, like, when people type in the Journey for Greatness on YouTube, we're not like the first one that comes up. So what I'm doing is I'm optimizing our description inside the video. I'm optimizing our title of the video, and then I'm optimizing what they call the tags. And the tags are, you put them in there, and then it tells the YouTube, like, what the video is about. So I'm going through and doing all that, and my hope is that once we get to a certain point, if people go there and they type in the Journey for Greatness on YouTube, we're going to be it. Because people, I think, I don't know, somebody said, hey man, I typed in the Journey for Greatness, I didn't see your page. So we're going to establish the Journey for Greatness as the brand that we own on YouTube, if that makes sense. Because right now, if you type it in, you might get a video, like, I think we're the fourth, like, if you just type it in the search, I think we're like the fourth, whatever, result. But what I want to do is bake into the search results, like, okay, the Journey for Greatness is you and I on YouTube. And even, you type in Google, like, the Journey for Greatness, we don't even come up. So kind of establishing with Google and YouTube that we are the Journey for Greatness and nobody else is. So even if I type in the Journey for Greatness YouTube, we don't even get pulled out, or we don't even get brought up. So, like, that's my goal, is to kind of get a little bit more optimized for that. No, and so part of that is the description of the YouTube video is putting in, like, what Gary Vee has, and Gary Vee's a serial entrepreneur, blah, 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 and it's like basically 200 words. And that's what I want to do with you and I, like Eric Dario, blah, 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 Tom Pizzo, blah, 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 and then the Journey for Greatness was built for just do a really quick bio. And so that would be a shorter bio, whereas like what you're talking about, that's going to be our bio for the website.
Yeah.
So I basically just need a Cliff Notes version of what you're doing, like just a really, really brief one to put in inside of, and we can even do the full one. I think I have 5,000 words to put in the description. So even if you sent me your big one, and then I wrote our big one, I think we'd still be okay with putting that in the description.
Okay.
But I want to start doing that on every single video, so that way we continue to build up the authority with YouTube.
Dude, you're on fire. No,
I'm just trying to fucking make it work, brother.
Oh, you're on fire, man. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the time you got off or what, but you're on fucking fire, baby. And it's fucking jacking me up, dude.
No, it's the time, man. I'm telling you, I lost my creative fucking, I lost it, but I got it. You know, how you just feel like you're burned out, you don't have time to actually do what you want to do, and then you allow for that time to happen, and then you're like, God damn, I have all this stuff that I want to do.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, so if you type in the Journey for Greatness, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the 7th result is our channel. And we're right above this guy that has a Rocky tribute. And there's another guy, My Journey is Greatness. What?
What?
That's funny. There's another guy, My Journey is Greatness, LLC. He's got 8 subscribers, and he's uploaded one video that says, I am great, 2 years ago. So he's not a real thing.
No. How many subscribers do we have?
11.
All right. It's fucking better than 0.
Yeah.
Nice.
Then I want to type in, people type in the Journey for Greatness podcast. I want to be able to, come up with that. So it's definitely a work in progress, but we'll get there.
Hey, you know what they say? Rome wasn't built in one day, kid.
Nope.
So. Yeah, I gotta work.
I'm gonna get back to doing this. I'm gonna go do laundry at 7 when they open up. So I'm gonna get going.
Yeah, definitely. Will do. Good talk.
All right, man. Have a good day.
Thank you for waking me up. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you definitely need a nap.
Well, I'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
All
right, my dude. Later.
Take care.